Welcome back to War Thunder. Welcome aboard the RE251 here in Realistic Battles on the Port Novorossiysk map. And this is a very special version of Port Novorossiysk, at least for me, because I rarely get it. And when I get it in a light tank, I tend to wreck on it. I like that map for that particular reason. And I think map rotation will be the topic of today's video, so the gameplay that you see in the background will be kind of just background footage without very specific commentary on it. Now, map rotation is something that I experienced in the last few patches. Doesn't seem to work really well, does it? So I figured out what can we do about it, and officially you can't do anything about it, but there is one little dirty secret trick to it, and a lot of people use it without actually knowing it. Team up. So if you squad up with somebody that has a different map rotation than you know, the matchmaker is kind of forced to break up the map rotation, at least for one of you. But then again, this is just an observation that I had. I had always the same 3, 4, 5 maps. Advance to the Rhine, Abandoned Factory, Normandy, for some exchange, Fields of Normandy, and then Finland. And everything else has been a rare occasion. I think there was one time after I teamed up where I saw, for example, Karelia for the first time in over 3 months. I thought that map was taken out of map rotation. And so I was really surprised to see that map again. So there is that. I hope you can understand that, you know. And for a lot of people, that has consequences. For others, it doesn't seem to have consequences. So first of all, for the people that squad up on a regular basis, it seems like they don't experience this kind of narrow map rotation, as you can call it. Then there is also the part of the community that doesn't mind to see the same maps over and over again, because it fits their playstyle, it fits their tanks or their nation. For example, if you are on Abandoned Factory over and over again, and you are in a Soviet tank, you don't mind that, do you? Because you have flat terrain, so your gun depression, or rather lack of, doesn't really matter, and overall you have good ground resistance, so you can maneuver exceptionally well. That is then true, I guess, for all other nations, but for example the British then have not a big advantage with their most of the time good turret armor or trollish turret armor, their 10 degrees of gun depression, and also their stabilizers. While still being there, they don't profit from it. They don't have any advantage compared to any other nation. And so it seems like different nations prefer different maps. So a healthy map rotation is good for, I guess, the overall experience that you have. And it, for me, didn't matter which kind of nation I played, it didn't matter at which battle rating I played them. I always got the same maps that I just mentioned before. So here we can see good game mechanics. Spaced armor on the front of the Super Pershing doesn't work, and the side shot into the ammo rack was all that it needed. So the RE251, I did not really enjoy it on the previous mentioned maps, so I was very excited when I got this map where I can exploit all the different blocks of buildings and the side streets, and that just could go behind enemy lines. And we'll see how this will pay off, because I think this is something that I miss, that overall kind of rotation for different tanks. I guess I don't see a big benefit of the RE251 on Abandoned Factory or Advance to the Rhine, but on this map I feel it has something going for it. So nice neat kill here on the IS-2, and we go on. I also had a map on Kursk with this tank, and I realized you can't go faster than 60 kilometers per hour downhill. So, you know, Speed Demon, I don't think so. Another kill. Ugh, my English today. A very strong language. So, yeah. Another kill, and off we go. So, again, how does this influence your game experience? Now, this also grabs into the discussion of certain maps being bad or not bad. And I think Gaijin should really come around to have another look at the map rotation. And I don't know, it seems like nobody at Gaijin is playing the game called War Thunder, because they would realize that there is something like a problem. They would realize that something has gone wrong over the several patches, and they haven't done anything about it. And when then they hear complaints about this kind of lack of map rotation, I guess they don't take it serious. At least that's my experience. That's what I get from you know, all the Q&As from the devs and so on. So it's difficult to really talk about this and state that all as fact, because everybody seems to have a different map rotation. And that again is a good way to I guess solve it. Again, team up, and there is a good chance that your map rotation might change. And if not, well, then I have no idea how to solve it. But that was the one trick that I figured out could be worth talking about, because it worked for me in the 2 times that I did it. And it's just so refreshing to get different maps from time to time. So then, for example, if you are bound to one nation, you just want to grind that one nation, let's say the Russians, and you have the feeling that you always are in disfavor on those long range maps because you get sniped by Germans, or if you are in a mouse and you have to go through Kursk over and over again and you struggle because you have to face object 120s and ATGMs all the time, then yeah, I guess understand why you don't like this map. And if you have to play it over and over again, I can see why you hate it, to be precise. However, you further have to see that I, for example, get Kursk not very often, and I know how to play Kursk in a different way. Not straightforward, but flanking, but then not completely flanking for 10 minutes and then having nothing to shoot at, but really offensive flanking. I have talked enough about it, I have shown enough footage, so that discussion should be done right now. And so yeah, there is that. But furthermore, we also have to talk about the problem of wrong filling for teams. So because it's a bad joke at the hands of Gaijin, if there is, you know, Kursk and it's a 5 versus 5, whereas then on Berlin you have a 16 versus 16. So I guess it's not very nice, you know. But the same can be said for, you know, tanks like the RA251. It needs the ambush, it needs the side shot, it needs the disabling shot. And when that does not work, and you have to experience that on the same map all over again, where you know every part of it, and the people that you face against it obviously know every part about the map as well, and you get scenes like this, where you clearly hit the ammo rack of the T-44 and it doesn't go off but disappears, but you haven't disabled him because you thought, you know, the ammo rack would do it, and he gets set on fire, but he kills you through the trains, or through the train, and you had no chance of shooting back. That is kind of a disgusting experience. And so if you experience that on multiple occasions over and over again, then, you know, you just do not tend to dislike the map rotation, but the game overall. And another nice scene why I actually most of the time don't like the RA251 is this. So I go around, I do not cap the capture zone because I want to have this capped by the heavy tanks or other tanks that need the spawn points more than I do, because I tend to, or I intend to go to the position where I could intercept enemy tanks before they could capture C. And usually there's always a tank that you can face, and the first is an IS-6, and the heat shell does nothing on the side of the tank, so hurrah for glorious Soviet design, I guess. And then I made a mistake because I looked around the corner, I did not even see the enemy, but he saw my angled front plate and that was enough. Another scene is here against this tank. Another scene is this one where I went into an ambush position early on. I want to use the speed, but I have no APHE, so I want to disable the gun breach, but despite a direct hit it just turns yellow and the turret ring gets jammed, so I think I can have a go at him. But here is the problem, it's not like playing a Super Hellcat. I have no APHE, I cannot just kill somebody and go away. And because I was hanging around for so long trying to get the kill shot into the enemy, I received a damaging shot and I have to repair. And that just will kill me ultimately. So this is one of the reasons why I hate actually playing the RE251. It's so unreliable. However, people wanted me to play this tank, so here you have it. And of course, how can I end a video like this when I play a light tank when I haven't shown you a scene on Kursk? So, here I am hiding behind this burning Peshka wreck and I have captured the zone. By the way, here on a downhill race on kind of medium to hard terrain, I didn't exceed 60 kilometers an hour, so top speed of 80 kilometers an hour, something like this, forget it. So here I got shot, I popped the smoke, I turn around, I have no idea where the shot came from, I turn into the smoke and try to get a bit of distance, look around, and finally I go into the bush and tree line. I saw something around about there, so carefully I have to play around the enemy. Again, I just saw its rough position and I'm not quite sure which tank it is, but then again, here I can hide myself a little bit. The advantage of the RE251, it's a rather small tank and it's small in stature or height, so to speak. And I just wait. Be patient with this tank, but not every map suits it. So I mark here for my team that something is there. And just one little thing that I want to say about the T95 and the T28, the premium version of it, they suck. They don't suck because they are bad, but since the removal of the penetration effect for APHE on the cupola, practically the ninja buff, every single German tank got obsolete that can potentially fight them, except for the high tier solution that is the Leopard and also the Kanon Jagdpanzer 45. And that sucks because the other two tanks are the RE251 and the MKPZ M47. And they are premium tanks. So here I go right through the front of the T95. And I think by the time I've reloaded, he has repositioned and my heat shell goes into the void. So I chase him down. And ultimately, spoiler alert, I will kill him. So that's the end of this video. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did. I guess I will not get a like from this guy. Subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder. Kursk.